Hi and welcome to our third video tutorial on creating our maze game. Now in this game I want to introduce the idea of what's called a variable. A variable is basically used in programming to store some value or a piece of data that's going to change. So for example, in this game we could have our lives set to 3, and each time Bart hits Sideshow Bob he loses a life. Okay, so the variable we could create would be called lives. We could start off setting that to 3, and then each time Bart touches Sideshow Bob we could reduce his lives by 1. The same idea can be used for if you want to collect coins throughout the game, or if you want to move on to the next level. So let me give you an example. Okay, so first of all, to create a variable to store my lives, I need to go to data and make a variable. The variable name, you can call it anything, just call it something useful. My variable is going to record the amount of life that Bart has, so I'm going to call it lives. Click OK. That will then make this area available, and you'll see in the top left of your game you now have got lives, which is 0. Now I can actually hide this in the game. If I just uncheck the box here, you can see it hides and shows. I'm just going to show it for this tutorial. Okay, so what I need to do next is, once my game starts, I want lives to be 3, okay, because I want my game to have 3 lives. So I need to say, when the green flag is clicked, data, and I'm going to say set lives to 3. Now you can choose whatever you want for your game. Okay, so the next thing I need to say is I need to work out or program my script for when Bart actually touches Sideshow Bob. Now this code down here is actually really useful, and we're going to be using a similar type code. So let's start off first with my forever block, because I want the computer to keep checking if Bart is touching Sideshow Bob. And then I want to say, use an if block. So if, and I go to sensing, this time I'm going to use the first touching block because it allows me to select a sprite from here. So if Bart is touching Sideshow Bob, then what do I want to happen? Well, first of all, I want Bart to lose a life. Okay, so I need to go to my data tab, and I need to change lives by, so obviously if I start with 3 lives and I lose a life, I want to change lives by -1, so that will take a life off. Now once Bart loses a life, I also want him to go back to the same position where he started, and I know that this block here is where he started, so I'm going to shift click and duplicate that and put him back to the beginning. Okay, so let's see what happens. So when I click the green flag, lives should be set to 3, so you should see 3 appear here. If Bart touches Sideshow Bob, then the lives should decrease by 1, and then Bart should go back to his position. So let's see if it works. Okay, you can see the lives are set to 3, and you can see Sideshow Bob is on the move. Okay, so I'll try and do this without hitting the black line, because if I do, that's going to send Bart back to the beginning. And once I touch Sideshow Bob, the lives up here should decrease by 1, and Bart should go back to the beginning. There we go. So I've just touched Sideshow Bob, the lives have gone to 2, and Bart is back at the beginning. And you can use the same idea of using a variable for many different things inside your program.